Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. Hang on one second here. I'm going to get the screen share going on. Okay. So the market's just opening up this morning. Friday session going pretty much sideways, which was more or less what we expected after the early rally and decline. The overnight here, not a whole lot going on. You can see this is where we left off on Friday. It was a little slight rally up, and we're opening pretty much where we left off last week. It's hard to say, when the market is this neutral, which way they're going to be leaning. Right now, here out of the open, it looks like maybe they've got a slightly more bearish slant, but again, it's far too early to say for sure. So I think I'll just give them a few minutes to settle in. And then we might take a look at taking a trade or two, see how the day unfolds. I'm trying to work out my schedule here a little bit. I've got an issue at the end of this week. I've got to be out of town for a little bit, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to host the room in my absence. So I'm trying to work that out right now. But I will keep you posted as to what's going on with that. A fairly quiet open for a Monday, I would think. Usually Mondays can be pretty crazy, but not this Monday. All right, still a little bit of back and forth going on here. Well, I'm not going to do it, but you know, when the market is stuck in a sideways mode like this, you could just bracket it. You could bracket a breakout above, a breakout below. All right, checking out the bottom end of the trading range, we've got ourselves a first micro macro cross lower. The Falcon trying to do a trend change, or actually did do a trend change right here. You can see we're sitting right on the median line. Really respecting that median line this morning. So we've got ourselves a second push entry opportunity now. Here on the Falcon, we've got a late filter entry. That's a pretty reliable signal. That kind of couples with the hard edge bounce signal that we're getting here in the Raptor. I think I would probably offer up a couple of ticks on the entry side just to make sure it isn't going to be a fake breakout. And still with the back and forth. The only reason I'm not considering a bracket at this point is just because it does seem a little bit more bearish. But our trading band is starting to twist up like a rope, so maybe not. Okay, all right, so we've got that bullish break. I will cancel that. We'll see whether that sticks. And so far, everything's kind of going on in slow motion. All right, we've got ourselves a number one signal now. That's the cloud crossover. I'm going to show you the comparable signals on the other tools, but you could do a trade similar to this. We do have a second push opportunity going on. All right, let's see what they got. Oh, we even got a little bit of positive slippage, so things a little bit on the thin side. Come on. Hey, way to go, Ryman. Ryman says I took a scalp here on the Hawk. Oh, yes, I was going to show everyone the comparable signals. But 9:38, so shortly out of the open. First micro macro cross signal, nicely done. He says I hit my 154 on the day. My day is done. Good job. And a pretty decent little run up from that first micro macro cross. Here on the Falcon, we've got the trend change signal. This is more or less coinciding with the number one signal that we're trading. Wow. Okay, well, here's a little bit of a bear pushback now, which, you know, when the market's sideways like this, it's to be anticipated. Kind of near the, well, not really the top end of Friday's range, but you can see now we're into the primary resistance zone. That seems to be causing a little bit of grief. My goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to bring my break even down here to the high of that bar. Next push is all they get. Oh, wow. Come on, buyers. You made this nice big rally up. Now everything's just kind of falling flat. Okay, here we go. Come on. Just this back and forth. I hate it. This sideways market nonsense. All right, well, I had better do something here with my stops. Obviously, we've got some support down here around the 66, 92, 93 zone. I've got some additional support there. I have a feeling if that zone is going to break, it's probably going to be a good time to get out of this trade. So I'm going to bring my stops in a little, try to reduce my risk exposure, and it looks like we've got a little bit of a trend line building here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my break even down now somewhere near that trend line. It may result in a premature stop out, but you know, right now I think I'll take it. Come on, don't stop now. Oh, good timing. Oh, whew, that was hard work. All right, well, hooray. And this, by the way, if you did not take profit on target, this does have the potential to run out a little bit now that we've kind of getting above the primary resistance zone. The next stop is actually up here, 67.29 3/4. So that could make for a fairly substantial move to the upsides. All right, we'll set that aside for now. You could be right. Scott says, looks like the market's holding for the Chicago PMI report. It is kind of quiet for a Monday, I have to admit. Oh, the report's out now, Scott says. Obviously, you can tell I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the report schedule. The ones, though, that you should be aware of are the FOMC minutes, and if you trade the agricultural commodities, the WASDE report, because those are the market movers, those two. All right, it's looking like it's still a little bit sideways. We got a lot of yellow bars here on the Raptor, a lot of yellow bars on the Hawk. Very constipated here on the Falcon as well. So it looks like it's a good time to go get a cup of coffee, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Maybe a little bit of a bullish push through, but not a whole heck of a lot. More sideways. Market really, really uncommitted here to start the week. Maybe making a push at Friday's highs. Still too early to say for sure. But I think the overall bias of the market has changed. Oh yeah, Ryman, you're right. It is the end of the month. Ryman says sometimes the last day of the month can act kind of funky like this, and you're absolutely correct. Hard to believe, end of April already. My goodness. Didn't April just start? Oh well. So we got one trade under our belts. It took a little bit of nursing to get it to go, but all right, back into our previous trading range. So looks like taking profit on target was probably a good idea. All right, checking out the bottom end now. I'm not really keen on trying anything so long as we're in this bigger sideways trading range. It looks like we may have a little bit of a trading range developing, something like that. And that's going to make it kind of difficult here. All right, well, there go the buyers again. Okay, so it looks like the buyer's still here in full control. Well, the breakout was short-lived. In hindsight, you can see there was some potential to it after all. I didn't think it was going to get out of that trading range quite so easily, but you can see here the eagle had a nice red bar buy, which tends to be a strong signal for the eagle, especially the first one. As with a lot of signals, you don't want to see too many of them repeat because that does tend to indicate some weakness. You like to see the signal, then you like to see some follow through, which was the case here. Likewise, that number 3 signal that was developed the same time as that eagle signal, also having the decent follow through to it. And the falcon with a trend change signal, and of course the hawk with the first micro macro crossovers. Okay. Things are still just really slow here. I wouldn't mind another pullback, maybe another opportunity to look at getting long, but we've got the sideways drift going on again. Okay, getting a little bit of a pullback now. That's what I was looking for. Maybe a move back here to the hard edge will be viable. Somewhere along here, we're going to get a test of the extreme. All right, here's that little hard edge bounce. Let's take a look here what's going on with the hawk. Yeah, the hawk actually a little bit deep here. I was sort of surprised we didn't get a red bar buy. The falcon already a little bit bearish, so we've got a few of our tools looking a little bit bearish, a couple looking a little bit bullish. It's kind of like a split here at the moment. There's nothing wrong with waiting though if you're just Not sure. Okay. A number two signal after a number three tends to be a little bit more reliable. We've also had um, the Hawk get a little bit more bearish here, and the Falcon is struggling a little bit. So I might give this a try here to the short side. All right, the Falcon is trying to do a trend change signal here. We've got a first micro macro cross building. So we've got a few things syncing up a little bit. The hard edge is getting a little bit close though, so this could be another nail biter. All right, let's see what they do. Come on down. Well, I had a feeling it would be a little bit of a struggle on the way down, and give them a little while longer here, and then I'm going to start to get a little bit more aggressive with my stops. Whew. All right, 2 for 2. That had a little better follow through actually than I anticipated. It looks like, the buyers that were buying here and perhaps some buying from here, a little bit of an extra move lower forced them out. And it looks like I got a little bit of positive slippage on both trades today. Well, how nice is that? Sorry, I'm probably a little bit late here with David's comment, but David was going to try for a long at 67.16 quarter. Yeah, a breakout above there? Sure, why not? Got a decent second push here on the number 3 signal. You will find with these number 2 signals, if you get a number 3 signal that ends up testing the extreme. So in this case, the extreme is the high. We come down, we bounce, all of a sudden we start to lose traction, and a few bars later we're producing a number 2 signal. That's sometimes one that you may want to give a go. The counter trend signal is always risky because, of course, it is counter trend. But that is the time where if you're going to try the counter trend signal, that's might be the one that's going to work out for you. All right, let's put that away. We have a little bit of a trading range building. If we shoot a couple trend lines, you can see we've just breached the bullish trend line, and we could also draw a little trend line across the highs here. It's helpful to keep a bigger perspective on things. So we're getting an early cloud cross now here on the Hawk, or pardon me, the Raptor. The Hawk gave us a first micro-macro cross here just a little bit earlier, of course, which you would expect from your scalping tool. Followed by a macro pullback. So both those kind of signaling a little bit of a downtrend might be developing after all. Here I thought the market had taken on a more bullish slant, but maybe not. Just keep going sideways. Very balanced, it seems. The buyers should push back. We're near this last swing low. So this was the pretty much where the market reacted earlier this morning. And we are back down near that level. We should see a little bit of a push up from here. Whether it will resume the trend, that's impossible to say at this point. But I would think there should be some sort of reaction. Oh, look at that. They're going to make a liar out of me and just head straight lower. Breaking this support zone is significant, by the way. Kind of tells us that the market is now taking on a little bit more of a bearish slant. This is move number one that broke that swing low. We can expect another move lower. Now, that second move may or may not be a big one, but it is something to anticipate. When you break a significant support or resistance level, you can always count on two moves in the direction of the breakout. So here this morning, out of the open, there was a rather significant swing high. So there was move number one up, and then there was move number two. And now we're doing it the other way. There's move number one down. And so now we can anticipate move number two and hopefully prepare for that. Stop placement could be a little bit difficult. Okay, we're getting some counter trend things going on. There was a green bar sell printing here on the Hawk. Working a possible trend change here on the Falcon. It's still way too early to call it that, but the trend line has changed color. We do have a counter trend signal here on the Raptor, but that doesn't really qualify for even a number two signal because we haven't seen a test of the extreme yet. That said, it looks like there is going to be a bullish reaction here. All right, buyers kind of see this as their last chance to rally up the market, try to take control of it again. That's a pretty strong pushback, I have to say. And it's going to be decision time for us pretty quick here, which way we're going to want to try this trade, if we want to try a trade. Where's my resistance line? Okay, so we're sitting at the primary resistance line. High of the morning, just a little bit higher here at 67.08. $6,700, of course, one of those psychological numbers where the market just kind of likes to hang out. A nice even number. All right, here we go. A little bit of a push up now to the high of the opening range. And I bet we are pretty close to this trend line. Oh yeah, look at that. So once again, I'm a little bit more in favor of another bearish move, looking for that second attempt after breaking the support here. And even though, you know, some of these signals aren't going to be ideal, it may still be worth a try. So we got the warning dot here on the eagle. This is actually a green bar sell, even though the band very, very neutral at the moment. The hawk, the raptor, and the falcon all a little bit more bullish at the moment. But we'll see. If the eagle gives me a green bar sell, I might give that one a whirl. It's a really tough call right now because, like I say, the market is so balanced. Trying to figure out which way it's going to go from here. And like I said, because the market is so neutral at the moment, this is a lot like flipping a coin. Heads we buy, tails we sell. It's going to be just that kind of trade. Oh, I think the Falcon already produced a sell signal. Yes, it did. Again, it doesn't qualify as one of our high probability signals unless, like I said, you're just looking for an opportunity to get short. Well, there you have it right there. You could just hit your sell button. Oh, well, I really didn't intend to go in with 3 contracts. Not quite sure why my trade manager did that. Sorry. Stops should try to be reasonably far back, at least to start. Okay, so that's a little bit short of a bearish pushback. Here now the signal on the eagle. I'm a little bit late on this one, but we can simulate it. You'd probably want to set up your trade something like this to start. If you're not sure about it, certainly go into manual mode, just throw a single contract on there. You may even choose to adjust your profit target a little bit. Given the way the market is a little bit slower this morning, we might be asking a lot to look for a retrace all the way back down here. Although, don't forget, the market did start the day around the 66.80 mark, and it did get as low as 66.70 before starting to reverse. But when in doubt, get your profit. So this now, that green bar sell signal on the eagle, looking for that second move lower after the bearish break of the support zone. And so far, they're giving it a decent try. All right, so they would easily have found your halfway's target if you were running, say, a $100 profit objective now instead of a 200. And looks like they're going to try to trickle down there. Maybe try to recover to 66.80. That would be the open this morning. Because the Eagle bars are a little bit larger, if you're in this trade and you haven't taken profit yet, it's probably a good idea to start bringing your stops in. If you're not going to go at a break even, certainly somewhere here around this, where the ATR line crests at 67.05, maybe not a bad idea. The best stop still here at 67.10, but you can see, well, even on single contracts, well, I guess it's not that bad. $200, $215 on a single. As we get a little bit more waffling from the market. It's not much of a second leg just yet, just that little bit. I would think they would give us a little bit more, but maybe not. That darn 6,700 zone, really kind of sticky. The market not moving too far one way or the other from there. And we may have some buying coming back now. Yeah, here come the buyers. Okay, well, we got ourselves a first micro macro cross. The Raptor's still a little bit twisted. The Falcon working a possible trend change. And, well, the Eagle's still a little conflicted as well. The Eagle is still in bear mode, but it looks like we're kind of really testing the top end of that trading range. And if you did not start rolling your stops the last time, now is a good time to start rolling your Eagle stops. The original trade would have looked something like this off of this green bar sell signal. And once again, it looks like you're about halfway to your profit objective. There was a little profit opportunity there, but I would be getting a little bit more aggressive with my stops, maybe starting to roll them bar for bar to the downside, or looking just for a break-even opportunity. Just too darn neutral, making it really difficult to call. This is one of those classic wedge type formations that tend to make their ways into trading books. the hawk, very, very neutral. You can see a lot of yellow bars clustering. They're more or less the same price level. Again, sticking very, very close to 6,700. The Falcon also really broken up here. Just keeps changing direction back and forth. And likewise for the Raptor, look at how neutral our trading band is. So when you get a situation like this, you know, it's okay to stand aside. It's okay to wait. If you don't know, just wait. The market will tip its hand, and then you can look to try to get in one way or the other. They keep trying to give us that second leg lower to the short side, but so far, no follow through on that. All right, a little bit of a bear push, so maybe the sellers are going to follow through on what they started. So they gave us that break, that swing low. And they're taking their time, but maybe this is now going to be the second leg lower. But they're spending so much time going sideways. I would definitely want to take profit on target. Here the hawk producing a first micro macro cross signal now, and that's sitting about like that. I think it would probably, like I said, be a good idea just to grab your profit when you have it. Break even is hit, so at least the trade is at break even now. Oh, you stinkers. Well, you would have got tagged at break even, not the end of the world. But to get so close to your profit target and then do that little hiccup, very annoying. Okay, a trend change signal now on the Falcon. David says all of a sudden Trade Manager isn't accepting orders. Okay, well, assuming it's not on the brokerage end, I would suggest that you try rebooting your Ninja script. Make sure you are not in a trade. Repeat, not in a trade, because this is going to reboot your Trade Manager. So you can either press F5 or right click on your chart and pull down here to reload Ninja, and that will reboot your NinjaTrader, your Trade Manager. All right, David says, I'm in a trade, but I don't see it anywhere. What you want to do is you want to go here to your control center, and that will tell you if you have any orders in play. And if you do and you don't recognize anything, the market's moving slowly right now, so you don't really need to panic, but you can always flatten all your orders from your control panel. The lack of momentum for a Monday is impressive. It really is. It's really mind-boggling here how slow the market is moving today. We've got, like I said, a couple opportunities. Nothing that I really wanted to try again. Are we down there? Oh, we did. We did drift low enough to hit our eagle target as well. Look at that. I didn't think they would be able to do it. And if we shoot a trend line there, you can see we're reacting to some trend line support now. Which also is not that unusual in a sideways kind of market. This is a fairly reasonable hard edge sell forming here on the Raptor. It's just your basic continuation trade. If you figure the market is in more of a downtrend than an uptrend, well, here's a decent opportunity. But honestly, folks, we have seen so much sideways trading here right now. I am not all that confident in another position at this moment. The big deal is going to be this last swing low that we were looking at. This is the obstacle now. So 66.87 that's holding the market up. If it gets below there, it's definitely going to make a run here at this low, which is at 66.85. And after that, all bets are off. It could well see the market retrace to the low of the morning, which was around 66.70. And let's just see how this unfolds. If they actually trade below here, they're going to start stopping out some of these buyers, and that could put a little bit of spring in the step of the sellers as they try to move the market lower. No, not getting too far from that whole 6,700 zone yet again. All right, well, they seem very content to hover in this whole trading range. I think we're going to try to see another bullish break followed by possibly another bearish break. Right now, I would say the sellers may be just a touch stronger than the buyers. But so long as we are in this sideways trading range, we're going to see some buying going on down here. We're going to see some selling going on up here. And the middle, which is around that 6,700 zone, is going to remain fairly neutral. Once the market emerges from here, when it emerges, it's not if, but when, we're going to look for a retest and a recommitment, signs that the market is going to try to stay out. Likewise to the upside. That initial breakout, well, it could have some momentum to it, should be suspect, because the market could just kind of break the trading range by a tick or two and then maybe end up retreating right back into the range. Okay, here's the bottom end. We'll see what they do with that. Well, so far, not very much. Yeah, very, very neutral day right now. All right, everyone, I will see you again tomorrow, and be careful. I think the market may just end up retracing its steps here for the remainder of the day. So don't be too anxious to get in there, like I said, so long as they are staying in this trading range. I'll see you Tuesday. Talk to you then. Bye for now.